One of the many features of the Chevy Volt is that you can plug it into your smartphone. But not only that, you can actually go 15 miles without using a drop of gas. According to the 2010 President's Report, energy conservation is among the university's many green initiatives, using tactics like turning off lights and monitors at night. O'Brien's lecture promoted accepting diversity as a means to help solve some of the country's problems, a message many found beneficial. UTA's track and field stars start really early here at the Maverick Stadium to compete. But what many don't know is that after you graduate from UTA, training continues, even for Olympians. Mark says he likes to start his workday listening in on the morning pitch meeting right here in the conference room. Officer Jillian Smith was the 8th officer to die in the department's history. She will undoubtedly be remembered by many as a hero. You give a real clear image of the devastation that the drug cartels have inflicted in Ciudad Juarez. Now, Dominic Bracco is in Mexico right now, but standing with us today is Dr. Sam Haynes, the Director of Southwestern Studies, and he's also one of the sponsors for this exhibit, as well as a history professor here.
After being one of less than 10 U.S. campuses chosen to compete in a nationwide ad campaign to promote Chevrolet's new green initiatives, the Advertising 4301 students, led by Dr. Ingram and Mr. Bechtel, transformed themselves into a fully functioning marketing agency called MavAds.
What it allows our students to do is to apply in a practical situation with a real client all the great things that our university has been able to teach them. Spirits are good, and everybody thinks we can pull this off.
The class is divided into teams working together toward a common goal. Chevy provided competing campuses $3,000 for the entire campaign, creating ads, posters, and making promotional appearances. It all starts with a primary research survey to gather student opinion on Chevy's reputation on sustainability. And the response?
Students don't associate Chevy with green, and that's a real problem because green is defining our generation, and that's what we look for in cars. And we also found that students associate Chevy here in Texas with trucks.
Perhaps one of the most anticipated parts of the campaign is this campus-wide Chevy-sponsored event to introduce the Chevy Cruze, Equinox, and Volt with some new green features.
One of the many features of the Chevy Volt is that you can plug it into your smartphone. But not only that, you can actually go 15 miles without using a drop of gas.
But now that the event is over, what's next?
There's a piece of research to be done to find out was the event and the campaign successful in changing any opinions, and then we will make a final presentation to Chevrolet towards the end of November. And then that will be it.
Reporting from the Library Mall, this is Christine Nicholson for UTA News.
At a courthouse where Tom Vandergrift served as a county judge for 16 years, and in a city where he was mayor for more than 25, mourners gathered for the viewing of the man many called Mr. Arlington.
He was always so enthusiastic. When you look at all the photos of him, he had that big smile and excitement in his face. He was always a positive influence for Arlington, from General Motors to the baseball.
He's been missed a lot in the 4 years since he retired. But even while he was the mayor of Arlington, he still focused on the region. The Council of Governments, here's the man who created that and had that thought and started it. And I think he was always about doing what was best for everyone.
And the following day, thousands came to the University of Texas at Arlington at Texas Hall to view his memorial service. It honored his role in moving UTA from a 2-year college to a 4-year research institution. Here, family members and city leaders shared his many contributions.
Someone, a great person that served all human beings, and why we were getting that opportunity to even think about building that stadium. And so we're truly blessed. We're a great example of how generations of time to come will benefit from his great leadership.
Tom Vandergrift died at age 84,
but many would attest that his legacy in DFW will continue to live on. In Arlington, Christine Nicholson for UTA News. Hundreds gathered at Texas Hall to hear Soledad O'Brien's lecture, Diversity in America. The CNN anchor and special correspondent focused on how embracing diversity can help us understand each other.
The time is now, I believe. The opportunity is now to lead whatever change that we want to see and whatever difference that we think is important in this country that requires a wide range of diverse voices to be heard.
As a biracial journalist who's covered global news and disasters for over 20 years, O'Brien says she appreciates all perspectives.
If you really want to figure out how to make progress, then you really genuinely have to have a conference and a conversation where everybody gets to have their perspective and everybody gets to be heard. And that's hard to do, but the only way to do it.
O'Brien's lecture promotes accepting diversity as a means to try to solve some of the country's problems, a message many found beneficial.
Loved her message that if you see something wrong or you want to make a change, then go ahead and do it. There's nobody stopping you.
I feel like I learned a lot as far as, especially history. I mean, wow, it wasn't even that long ago and we had a lot of real serious issues.
The stigma of interracial marriage is significantly less than it was in my parents' day.
I'm also biracial. I had never thought about multiracial people who came from majority white community, like she said, where she was the only family that was diverse. I thought that was really interesting.
There is nothing worse than doing nothing.
Reporting for UTA News, this is Christine Nicholson.
From heaven to my soul.
It was only months ago when UTA lost one of its own. 24-year-old Jillian Smith was a rookie police officer responding to a domestic assault call at an Arlington apartment complex. She was fatally shot using her body as a human shield to protect a child. The community came together to remember her courage. From fellow police officers,
what she did just was so unselfish. She'll always be remembered as a hero.
To fellow UTA students.
The fact that she went to UTA makes me feel even more proud of my school and attending there, because somebody who would do something so brave, I think really represents the kind of character that some of the students at the school want to have.
Officer Smith graduated from UTA in 2009 with a bachelor's degree in criminology and criminal justice. Now the department wants to honor her name in a special way.
Our hope is to get together in the next few weeks and put together a scholarship fund that will honor Jillian. You know, when tragedies like these occur, it's very difficult for the department. It's difficult for all of us as individual professors, but I think it's also an important reminder of the wonderful work that law enforcement officers do on a daily basis. And I think oftentimes we are quick to criticize police officers and often complain about their behavior, but we don't realize or take into account the amount of stress and the many things that they have to go through on a daily basis in order to, keep us all safe.
Officer Jillian Smith was the 8th officer to die in the department's history. She will undoubtedly be remembered by many as a hero. In Arlington, this is Christine Nicholson for UTA News.
God bless you, Smith family, and may God bless the memory and the legacy of Officer Jillian Rochelle Smith.
UTA's track and field stars start really early here at the Maverick Stadium. But what many don't know is that after you graduate from UTA, training continues, even for Olympians.
Track is a very, very tough sport, so keeping yourself humble and hungry and constantly trying to improve yourself is the key to success for anybody.
Before becoming a record-breaking championship sprinter at UTA and competing in the 2008 Beijing Olympics, Jared Connaughton ran on homemade tracks in Canada's smallest province. Today, he trains for international competitions with other world-class athletes.
We have some of the best sprinters in the world trained here at UTA. I think having an individual sport is so focused and you become often self-centered, but having a group of guys that are very supportive, very reciprocal in our positive energy, that we can keep pretty grounded.
I've now been working with Jared for I think 5 years now, and just to see the way he's progressed from UTA to the professional ranks It's pretty impressive, and it's great to have him with me because he pushes me as well.
Connaughton credits his longtime coach for staying humble about his Olympic fame.
Very grateful because he's consistent. He's also been able to keep us in line and in check.
He's getting stronger, more experience, has more confidence, is able to expand and increase on the intensity of the work level.
Another source of motivation is his college sweetheart, Tamisha.
She was a basketball player here at UTA as well. 5 years later, we're married, and she's really my corner man.
Tamisha now coaches PE at a Dallas Montessori school where the couple both help kids live a healthy lifestyle.
Youth baseball teams and track athletes and even some professional athletes.
But for now, his intentions are clear.
It's an Olympic year, so in the Olympic year, you're absolutely focused on making that Olympic team. And, I'm excited to be able to hopefully make the team again.
For UTA News, this is Christine Nicholson.